Welcome back, and joining us for a look at the day's market action is Katzenellenbogen from Sanlam Private Wealth. Thank you so much for your time, Greg. Quite a pleasing picture there on the JSE, especially because at some point I thought that the JSE was going to end up trading in the red, but it did come back at the end of the session. Also, those US markets are trading in green as you are awaiting those tech earnings. What have you made of how the markets have performed today?
Well, in South Africa, the all shares maintains above 80,000. So I think that's a key level, and that's very good. But on the whole, about 0.25% gain today. A lot of that, some of it driven by the fact that, we had a much weaker rand, but we had, financials were strong, the banks, which is surprising given that, the economy, there's a lot of optimism about the economy, but we haven't, if interest rates are going to be cut over the next year or so, maybe by about 100 basis points, that, banks' net interest margins will come under pressure. But it's good to see the market above that 80,000 level on the all share. And of course, as New York is open now, and both the NASDAQ and the Dow and S&P all up and doing nicely, tech stocks have put in a recovery in the last, hours.
Well, looking at the resources 10 complex, which was one of the indexes there in the green, the one that actually came out with results today, Kumba Iron Ore didn't really participate in that. Quite muted reaction to the results today. And actually, let's talk about those results, interim results. Revenue was down, sales volumes down, headline earnings declining more than a quarter. And I'm just wondering what you made of that, also considering the reconfiguration plan that they are currently under as you see them reduce production due to Transnet.
So I thought actually the results were not bad for Kumba if you consider the fact that the iron ore price was flirting with $100 mark. Yeah. So that's come over the last couple, month or so from about $115. So I thought Kumba would come under further pressure. So the market seemed to like the update. The previous year at this time they gave a 22 Rand dividend, and now they're giving just under 19 Rand, 18.77. So I think that the market liked that, and they've managed to save about 1.8 billion cost savings. So they've got a free cash flow of about 9 billion. So in all, I thought that was very good. They did put a statement that they believe, that they're optimistic that things will turn around at Transnet, but they do put a figure. They think it'll be at least 3 years before that turns around. And of course, another 1 million tons of iron ore stockpiled now at their mines, which is just too much. So, but it's positive that South Africa is looking at sorting out the Transnet mess, but it will still be some time before people are fully able to monetize it.
Yeah, and indeed, it seems like also it's going to be a while before consumers actually start feeling comfortable enough to do home improvements. Cash Build releasing its fourth quarter operational update today, saying that revenue did tick up by 4%. I mean, we understand the subdued environment that has prevented consumers from improving their homes, but it looks like there is still growth. But is it not encouraging as yet?
No, it's certainly not encouraging as yet. Their revenue increased by 4% compared to the previous, but it's positive from the previous year. So the things are, but we still need to see a big improvement in our economy. And once that happens, then companies like these will be able to grow their revenues. But for the time being, it's indicative of the tough environment that consumer-facing companies are facing.
Yeah. Well, talking about growth, Rainet came out with its management statement for the first quarter today, saying that their net asset value did see an increase of 1.6% as at the 30th of June, of course, listing the dividends that it has gotten from BAT and the Pension Insurance Corporation. Rainet, would it be one that you have appetite for at this point, Greg, or not?
Well, look, I mean, they told you very little, very short form statement put out the fact that, their assets value is about 6.3 billion, which shows a compounded growth rate of 8.8% per annum in euro terms since 2009. So I don't think that's bad. That is done well. That increase you refer to of 1.6% in the that's from March to June in the value of the company. But they said they received 34 million euros in dividends from British American Tobacco, but from the other, from Pension Insurance Corporation, which is big in their lives, they received a dividend of 85 million. So it's got some good potential, this company, but obviously, as you know, British American Tobacco itself hasn't done very well, but of course it remains an excellent dividend payer, and you can see 34 million euros, nothing to sneeze at. But I think that, if you're looking for diversified international business that's got some private equity in it, then, Rainet is a good one to look at.
All right. What else are you looking at today, Greg? Your stock pick?
Well, my stock pick is McDonald's on the New York Stock Exchange. So, as you know, the cost of living for everyone around the world has been going up, and people have been struggling. And Americans who received a lot of cash from the government during COVID have been spending that cash and are now running out of cash. So even the cost of a McDonald's burger has risen tremendously in the US, ranging anywhere between $9 and $18, which is way beyond most people's affordability. So what McDonald's have done now, they trialed for 4 weeks a $5 value meal, which gives you a burger plus 4 pieces of chicken nuggets plus small crisp and a small cold drink, Coke. The Coca-Cola is actually subsidizing this. And that has been so successful that the company is going to continue to roll that out. And I think that, it's been successful in the past 4 weeks of getting traffic back into their stores. And I think that we should see a turnaround in their earnings pretty soon.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that insight, Greg. Much appreciated. That was Greg Katzenellenbogen from Sanlam Private Wealth.